Good morning, everyone.
It was a standing room only crowd for the annual breakfast of the Charles River Chamber of Commerce last Wednesday, where business and civic leaders from across Massachusetts met to discuss the turbulent economic future of the state. The event's first speaker was principal economist and policy advisor at the Boston Federal Reserve, Dr. Mary Burke, who gave an overall picture of the state's economy, highlighting how Massachusetts jobs had still not returned to pre-COVID levels.
You might have seen somebody give a talk where they said, oh, we fully recovered our jobs from the pandemic in Massachusetts. Turns out the data have been revised downward. It's a caution that, whenever you see data, they're provisional. They're always subject to revisions. So there was recently some revisions that said that, in the past year, Massachusetts had fewer payroll jobs than we had previously thought. So some sort of downward surprise, and they're just sort of chugging along flat or maybe even declining.
Dr. Burke also highlighted how international migration is currently fueling Massachusetts' workforce.
If we didn't have this international migration, the red line, then the population of Massachusetts would probably be declining. There's also births and deaths going on that affect the population. They're not having a big effect on net. But really, you can see the surge in international immigration into the state, which, as I said, is supporting the size of the labor force, but it also creates other challenges for the state in terms of pressure on resources, et cetera. So this is really, a pretty dramatic picture that tells you that domestically we're losing people, internationally we're gaining people.
Interim Secretary for Economic Development Ashley Stolba acknowledged the challenges of doing business in the current moment, but underscored potential advantages Massachusetts had to offer companies.
One thing I will just mention is that we are very lucky to live here in Massachusetts. We have the best public schools, especially here in this region. We were voted the best place to raise a family, the best place to be a mom. We have the cleanest drinking water, which feels maybe slightly random, but it's actually very important that we have all these great things here in Massachusetts. And I'll also say that we're just a very, very well-governed state.
Stolba also highlighted a stream of new investment.
But these investments that we're making here in Massachusetts are huge. $4 billion over the next 10 years, including investments in life sciences, in climate tech, in manufacturing, small businesses, big businesses. We're very lucky to be here in Massachusetts.
Stolba's predecessor as Development Secretary, Yvonne Hao, reflected on her time in office after stepping down earlier this month.
The reason I decided to do this job is because I am the first person in my family to be born in this country. And I am the product of the American dream. The fact that I'm standing here and that I've had these incredible opportunities, that we've had this incredible life, that we've been able to raise our kids and do all of these amazing things is because of this country. I am so deeply indebted and so proud to be American. And I thought, and by the way, I'm proud to be in Massachusetts. We've had amazing careers that are meaningful, that have incredible colleagues. We've learned so much. We've had the best schools, the best healthcare, the best neighbors, the best communities. Look at this room. We have just such diverse, smart, interesting people who are good humans. And we've been able to have these lives here in the state.
Howe then put stormy economic data, particularly a declining population, in a way any Bostonian could understand, making a case to keep doing business and investing in Massachusetts.
This data reminds me of what it feels like to be down 3-1 in a playoff series. It's not good. You don't want to be down 3-1 in a playoff series. You don't want to be down. But guess what? We're down 3-1. The series is not over. And also, when you're down 3-1, do you suddenly decide, oh, hey, you know what? We're going to become Knicks fans. Let's just move to New Hampshire. Let's just move to Texas. Let's move to Florida. It's cheaper there. Let's just move. Do we do that, people? No. Now, we may not win tonight. This season may be over for us. We may not win every game, every point, every series, every championship, but we are in this for the long haul. We've been around for 250 years. We've been around for the long haul. And you know what we do over the long haul? We put up more banners.